The dispute between the Ramsey County Board and Sheriff Bob Fletcher is reaching new heights as the board chair called a press conference today to address what she calls an act of racism.
Lou Raguse joins us now to explain it all. Lou?
Well, Randy and Julie, that allegation stems from a letter Sheriff Fletcher wrote this week that was addressed to the 4 white commissioners, but not to the 3 people of color.
I do believe it's an act of racism, and I will call it out.
Ramsey County Board Chair Trista Matas Castillo held a press conference to address what she calls an act of racism by Sheriff Bob Fletcher. Earlier this week, Fletcher wrote a 4-page letter to commissioners asking them to help address crime in the county, but he only sent the letter to the 4 white commissioners.
It was clear he excluded 3 members of our board who identify as Black, Latino, and Hmong. And as the chair of the board, I need to represent them completely.
In response, Fletcher said he did not send the letter to Commissioner Rafael Ortega because he works with the sheriff professionally. And he didn't send to Commissioners Rena Moran or Mai Chong Zhang because they were just elected and, quote, can't be held responsible for the board's past failures. Fletcher added, quote, sadly, I see you've chosen to ignore the substance of the letter and instead fixate on making irrational and non-factual, inaccurate accusations about its purpose. Ortega isn't fully behind the claim of racism.
You know, for me, that's pretty strong, to be honest with you.
But he calls Fletcher an astute politician who's not above manipulating race to get to his goals and objectives.
To me, quite frankly, I want them at the table. We need to work on solving some of these critical issues that we are facing today.
Meantime, it's clear relations between the sheriff and the board remain very contentious.
I'm not calling him a racist, but his actions do lay out that this was a racist act.
And all this comes after the Ramsey County Board this week voted for more oversight over Sheriff Fletcher's spending. And prior to that, the board has been critical of conditions at the Ramsey County Jail. Randy.
All right, Lou, thank you.